Hi everyone, in this video we're going to talk about how to farm sets. I'm going to show you the best and quickest way to farm a full 6-piece so you can start blasting with that. So the strategy I'm about to show you will work really well if it's your first character or you're making an alt. So basically in any scenario this will be the best and fastest way to make a full set. Now of course if you're just starting out and it's your first character, do the season journey, get the full 6-piece here. This would be the best scenario for you to do 90% of the time. Just getting a full 6-piece, even if it's not the most optimal one, will still be better than anything else. So do the first 4 chapters of the season journey. Now the next thing we want to do is we want to find what build we want to make. I highly recommend using something like maxroll and then using either the tier list or going into specific guides and finding a build that you like. So let's say for this instance I want to get a really good strong build that's really good for farming experience. So I'm going to click the solo experience tier list and I'm going to see which one are the best ones. And of course here you'll see all the classes and then we can of course narrow it down to see what kind of class we're after. Let's just say in this scenario I want to make barbarian and then I'll click over here and then I'll say okay, so barbarian's not very good this season but I still want to play it and I really like the whirlwind build, so I'm gonna click that. Now we get this one and the first thing we want to do is we want to make the speed build. I'm just gonna ignore all this for now. I'm going to scroll down and find the GR solo speeds. This is the first build you want to make on every character. You want to make the GR solo speed build. Getting the solo speed GR build will make you farm anything else like Nephilim rifts or GR solo push build. Basically it allows you to get these builds a lot quicker, but the first thing we want to do is we want to use the GR solo speeds. Now you can of course also use my YouTube channel. I have quite a few builds as well that you can find, but let's use Reactional and of course we will make this build here. So we're gonna see we need the 6-piece of the race set, and let's say that this was not the full set we're gonna get from the season journey. We now want to farm this, but of course we're gonna know what we're targeting, so we're gonna go to resources and we're gonna go to kadala gamble calculator. Now I could just go into the game playing barbarian and hope that I find some of the items I'm after, but if we want to do this efficiently we want to go and use the kadala gambling first. So we're gonna go and find barbarian and you can of course search for the waste item and we see all the 6 pieces that drop here. Now the really cool thing about this is that you have a really good resource in here. It says average bloodshard required to obtain an item, and we can then use this to then calculate which item we want to roll for. We need this information a little bit, I'll show you why, or we can then compare and see which is the lowest roll here. We're gonna get the item that has the lowest requirement, and if we see here that is the legs for this setup here. Now this will vary depending on the build and your class, but for instance for a witch doctor here you're going to see it is the shoulders that has the least amount required. So this will vary depending on your class and your build. So make sure you go and search this up before you start gambling with your bloodshards. But as we just saw, in order to get the race set for barbarian, we need to gamble for pants because this has the lowest amount of bloodshard required to get one of the items. Knowing this information about what item we want to roll for, we can now look at our Kanai's queue. We have this recipe called recipe number 4, convert set items, which basically allows us to convert an item to another in the same set. Now these can't be ancient, but it's a really good strategy. For instance, if we were gambling for a pair of chests, it could take almost a third of extra bloodshards to get this one pair. But what we can do is gamble for the pants and then use this convert recipe within the cube to actually get this chest armor. Now this works really well because for the barbarian there are less legs in total you can actually find, so you have a much higher chance of getting the item you're after. So when we look at this convert item here, yes it does require 10 death breath, but it's a massive time saver all in all, especially since you can now just have the sage set on your follower and then have that emanate to you, so you can get a lot of death breath even early game. So why I actually used this strategy the other day, I was farming for a new barbarian and I was just farming for the leg armors. So you can see here I'm just gambling for the legs. I want to get 5 or 6 of these so I can then start converting with the recipe number 4. And as you can see I actually got these quite often. It took me about an hour or so of using bloodshards from a main character that I was farming on. But you can of course also do this just on your first character. Let's say I was playing barbarian and I was using the set I got from the season journey. I could of course also just do this way, but in this case I already had a main character, so I was playing on that, getting the bloodshards from the main character and then using those on my alt character here. And as you can see I can then just go over here and just start converting these pants here and get all the pieces that I need. So after doing this convert for about a minute and I have all the items that I want, and I could then of course continue to do this if I want for instance better stats. Let's say you want a trifecta gloves or you want for instance cooler on your shoulders, you could keep rolling these on the same item. Boom, you get the same item but with better stats. But just getting the 6-piece from this straight away is by far the easiest way to get a full 6-piece of a new build. So this works even for a new character the first time you're playing, or if you already have a main and you want to make an alt. Or let's say for instance you're playing on your monk and you're playing the inner build or you want to also make some Roku, this also works really well. So by finding out what build you want to make and then looking at maxroll, find out which one is the easiest one to get, and then gambling for that piece of item and then converting, we can get a full 6-piece of whatever set we're after in a short manner of time. So I highly recommend trying out this strategy. Now if you want to know how I got so many materials here within just a season, make sure to watch this guide here as it shows the best way to farm materials. And I'll see you in that video. Peace out, everyone.